It mutated the cat and turned it into a fucking dog or something.
No longer a cat. Whatever it is, it's not a cat anymore.
It's not a cat anymore. You know what else isn't a cat anymore?
What's that?
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Pixel It. My name is Kevin. With me as always is Phil. And on today's show, we are talking about the adaptation of Silent Hill 2 by Sadamu Yamashita, translated by Emily Fitch. So it's just a straight up adaptation of Silent Hill 2. These were Japanese only books. So this is like a fan translation that we're going off of. So to that end, as with like, you know, the Sacred and Terrible Air or what have you, honestly, there's some things that we can and cannot really critique with the original writer, based on not knowing how good this translation might be, as we are not speakers of the Japanese language. Not yet. But yeah, so Silent Hill 2. Before, Phil, I assume you've looked into Sadamu Yamashita's past. Silent Hill 2, though, as a game, everybody knows it, everybody loves it. It was released by Konami back in, I want to say 2000. Silent Hill 2. I had this open and then I closed it. I feel like it was 2001. 2001? Okay. A few weeks after September 11th. So, you know,
that explains a lot. Yeah.
It follows a man named James Sunderland as he is going to Silent Hill to find his wife, his dead wife, who has sent a letter to him. It's probably one of the most respected old school survival horror games of all time. Probably one of the most well written. It had a remake that came out last year that was by Bloober Team, and lo and behold, Bloober Team did not fuck it up. They actually made a pretty damn good remake. And I would say if you haven't played Silent Hill 2, go ahead, go play it. Pause the episode and go play it. Takes about 7 hours if you just do the enhanced edition version of the original, or the 15 hours if you play the remake. Go ahead, play that, and then come back and listen to this, because as we're reading the book, it's like, oh, this is pretty one-to-one with what the game is, except less of the game is in the book.
Yes.
It's like we got to finished the part we were that we're reading for today, and I was like, I feel like they cut some things. They really, and that's another thing I wanted to know about, basically, with the translator. It feels short, but I have no idea. I have no idea because, as you pointed out before, this is a Japanese only novel. Yep. Yeah. So, Phil, what do you know about Mr. Yamashita?
Next to nothing. As far as I can tell, Sadamu Yamashita is the author of the novelizations of Silent Hill, Silent Hill 2, and Silent Hill 3. And that's it. I can't find anything else on this person. I have to assume that there is, maybe this is a pen name or something like that, or even that, frankly, if it's a World of Power situation where they just got some writer for hire who didn't have much under their belt, and it's just that much harder for me to find out about that person because it's Japanese only. Right. I looked up Emily Fitch. I almost said Edith Finch.
Edith Finch. Yep.
Yeah. Emily Fitch. I looked her up. She is also similarly kind of quiet on the ground when it comes to her resume, but she is known as a fan translator. She's done a lot of Japanese fan translations, and people are kind of positive on them. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, I dig it. Before we get into the book, I just want to talk about a website that is really cool, really neat. It's called patreon.com/pixelatpod, and there you can follow us for free, or you could pay us $1 a month and get the ad-free episode, or $5 a month and get the bonus episode, or $10 a month and get your name shouted out in every episode. To that end, I want to thank Jesus Loves You, Kyle Seaman, Ruthless Mutter, Middle Thing, Sigma Sal, Chut, Beak, Stomach, Vic, and Friendly Friend. Thank you so much for being a friend. Patreon.com/pixelatpod. Do it today. So yeah, Silent Hill series. By the way, the reason we skipped straight to the Silent Hill 2 novelization is because Silent Hill 2 is disconnected, from what I understand, in the Silent Hill mythology as
I'm
a
not
story.
a Silent Hill guy, but I can tell you, I never hear about the first Silent Hill game. No one seems to give a shit.
1 and 3 are connected. I think 1 and 3 are connected story-wise.
Okay.
But 2 is not. Is just its own thing. It just happens to also be set in Silent Hill. And it even changes some aspects as to what's going on in the town itself. It's a lot more metaphorical. There's more literal, supernatural shit happening in Silent Hill 1, like culty stuff, whereas in Silent Hill 2, it's more like what's actually happening. I don't know. Is it all in your head? No. Is it? No.
But is it though?
But is it? No. But
No.
maybe.
but now that you asked me 3 times, possibly yes.
Possibly yes, because that's the key. But yeah, let's put the body in the marsh.
Let's marsh this body.
Let's marsh this body.
When I tell you to dump a body in the marsh, you dump them in the marsh.
Silent Hill 2 by Sadamu Yamashita is not written in chapters. It is written in these like little named segments. The first of which is a little vignette just titled Girl. The brief opening chapter, we meet a young girl named Laura as she arrives at Silent Hill. She notes that the fog layering the town looks a bit like milk, that some scatterbrained god had dropped a cup and spilled his milk all over the place. Which honestly is quite possibly my favorite line that we'll get in this entire section.
It's a very evocative way of opening.
It was an evocative way. It's like that's a evocative way that's also good for the POV of an 8-year-old girl.
Yes.
Like it's 2 levels. Like you can have evocative, but you're like the character would never actually think that. But evocative and true to the character, that works.
And it tells you something about the character too.
It does. Yeah. She's skipping towards the town while her fat and thick-headed friend follows along. And she's going to the town to look for a person that gave her a letter. The fat and thick-headed friend, if you don't know the connection, it's Eddie. It's a guy named Eddie, and we will meet him again later. The next section is called Beckoning Town, and we meet James Sunderland as he is staring at himself in a dirty mirror of a public bathroom. He is musing about his depressed emotional state while standing in probably the grossest bathroom in the world. He steps outside into the parking lot, which overlooks Toluca Lake, and recounts the letter that brought him to town, which he assumes is from his late wife, Mary, because of the handwriting. They had spent a holiday in this town 3 years ago before she had passed away. James has to walk through a park to get into town, as the road into town is closed from the parking lot that he stopped at. He muses more about the source of this letter, how it might be a cruel prank by his co-workers or neighbors who have been upset with how he's behaved since Mary passed. Then as James walks, he thinks about how it would be possible that Mary could be alive. Maybe she was never really dead. Maybe a gravedigger found her. Who knows? Like, this whole section is kind of funny because it's like, maybe Mary was slamming on the coffin lid and like she has brain damage from lack of oxygen in the coffin. And like,
he takes it pretty far, but at the same time, like, I think a person in that position, I don't think that's I think that is something I could see myself wondering about where I am in this position.
At the same time, part of me is like, I also like the concept that of a James Sunderland who does not even consider any of this, you know, who is just like, I'm doing it because I got the letter and I'm going. And he doesn't even he's not even thinking logistically.
Right.
You don't get any, and you don't really get anything of James from the game itself that prompts you to think that he's in the headspace to consider these elements, you know? But anyway, yeah. He ends up in a cemetery, meets a woman, who later we'll find out her name is Angela. She is staring at a gravestone. He asks her where the town is, and she points the way, but tells him that it's best not to go because it's a dangerous place. When he tells her that he will be careful, she screams at him. He leaves her.
I get it.
Yeah, I get it.
No.
He leaves her and continues walking, ending up in the town itself. He sees, and by the way, just stopping, like the conversation between James and Angela in the game is fascinating because someone said to me it's like two people who have never talked to anyone before talking to each other. That's in the original version of the game, not the remake, right? Because of how unhinged both of them sound during the course of the conversation. You really only get Angela's being a little, as the book says, hysterical, but James is like weird. Like something's weird with James as well. Yeah. So he continues on. He gets to town. He sees a large blood stain on the road, and then he sees what looks like a person in the distance walking away. He gives chase and ends up in a small construction site where a radio is buzzing static. He hears footsteps approaching, and as they get closer, the static gets louder. He then sees what he's been chasing after. Creature with its arms merged into its body with rotting flesh. In the game's like the bestiary, so to speak, of the game, this is called a lying figure. You find them a lot, like they're just like on the ground when you first run into them. Before they kind of like get up and start going after you, spitting at you.
It's an underrated monster design, and I mean it says something to how fucking solid the creatures in Silent Hill 2 are, where something that horrible and pretty fucking excellent takes not even second fiddle but third fiddle to, like, you know, Pyramid Head and the nurses and just these iconic creatures. Everyone's
favorite sexy cosplay, the Silent Hill 2 nurses.
If you go to a con and there isn't someone dressed up as a Silent Hill 2 nurse, did you actually go to a con?
You did not.
No.
That's actually a nurse cosplay. Oh, that was actually an autocomplete. Oh, look at those. Yeah, that makes sense. There's a lot of them. Anyway, what was I saying?
Nurse cosplay.
Nurse cosplay. So James grabs a wooden board that's nearby and beats it to death. And once it's dead, the radio falls silent. And by the way, the fact in Silent Hill 2, the first weapon you get is a wooden board. Mm-hmm. And it just reminds me of the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, where the alien's weakness is a wooden board with a nail in it.
With a nail in it. Mo chasing him around.
Mo chasing Kang and Kodos around with a wooden board with a nail in it.
I love it. I fucking love it.
So the radio falls silent, much like the hills, the titular hills. The radio sparks to life again, and he hears Mary's voice over the static saying something about the Woodside Apartments. And James makes his way back towards the center of town. And then the book becomes a bit of a reenactment of the Californian sketch from SNL until he gets to the Woodside Apartments.
You take this, turn around. You can't go that way. It'll be jabbed.
You go to Flynn Street. And then you make a right on Baker. And then you get on the PCH. And then you take the 5. And then you're at the Woodside Bus.
It's we do get it does get a little tangled up in the directions, doesn't it?
It does talk a lot about the roads that you're going through. A lot. This actually skips because now he's already at the Woodside Apartments. There is there's a moment in the game where James goes into a building, and on the window, like painted in blood, there's something written. It says there used to be a hole here, where it's something like that. And it's just one of those like weird little creepy messages that you would find. But that's one of the things I'm noticing about the book right off the bat, is that we're just kind of like skipping through. It's like a joyful, just like it mentions Laura was skipping to the town. The story is just kind of skipping through any semblance of the world building or weirdness in Silent Hill, other than
just
like
one step after the next. Yeah,
there's James then killed this creepy monster, and then he ran down the street, and he turned a right on Baker, and then he turned a left on Fairfax, and then he got a scone.
It made me think while I was reading it. It was like if somebody you knew was describing the game to you. It's like, okay, so you do this, and you're going to run into this monster, and then you're going to do this, and without addressing like what is, like you said, the undercurrent of it.
Yeah, there was a hole here. It's gone now. That was in both the original and the remake. He gets to the apartment, and while he's outside the apartment, he is catching his breath, and he decides to clean the blood off of his boots because he used his boots to like squish on a lying figure. And he's wiping off the boots with an old newspaper and catches the headline on the paper about a man committing suicide with a spoon.
With a spoon.
A spoon.
Not even in a particularly creative way.
Yeah. He just stabs himself in the carotid artery with the spoon until he dies.
I read that and was like, okay, I'm listening. And it's, you just I have no knife, therefore I am a spoon.
I have no knife, therefore I must spoon.
I'm a spoon.
Am is filled with hate for that.
Yes, very much so.
Hatred. The man was a suspect in the murder. How would Am fare in Silent Hill?
Can Am be affected by
Am be affected by the metaphorical, like, mental purgatory of Silent Hill?
Right,
I assume so.
That's an interesting question.
Is that a power greater than Am?
Is the power that Silent Hill uses to send people through existential metaphorical nightmares similar to the one that Am uses to send people through existential metaphorical nightmares? Are they
well, Am is doing...
Is Silent Hill Am?
Well, there might be some lore that backs up your assertion on that one.
There you go.
Actually, I feel like there's an ending with a dog controlling a computer in
really?
one of them. Yeah, so
that's outstanding.
But no, yeah, that would be so. Am is doing it physically, and Silent Hill is doing metaphorically. It's like Am it's not magic when Am does it, but Silent Hill is using magic. Is this like Superman? Where, like, how Superman isn't weak to magic, but he can be affected by magic. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It's like Zatanna casting a spell on Superman, and Superman is Am in this case.
Yeah. So it's
Silent Hill. Silent Hill is Mr. Mxyzptlk.
Yeah. Like, I tell you, that could be our Freddy versus Jason. Silent Hill versus Am. That's what the people are craving.
That's what the people
Obviously.
want.
They want it.
They want
That's
it.
what horror nerds crave.
Suicide with a spoon. The man was a suspect in the murder of siblings Billy and Miriam Locane. And it talks about how Sullivan, the man who killed himself, was haunted by the Red Demon. James wonders why he feels connected to this particular article. He then continues into the apartment building, calling out for Mary. All the doors that he checks are locked until he gets to room 205, which looks like a person is standing in there. But it's actually a mannequin strangely wearing clothes similar to what Mary is wearing in the photo that he carries around of her. There's a flashlight hanging off the mannequin, and he grabs it so he can actually see in the apartment building, but he feels guilty taking it. He continues on, and in the middle of the hallway runs into a mannequin monster, and he runs away from it. And the mannequin monster is described, if you've never seen it, it has legs, mannequin legs coming out the bottom. And instead of a torso, it's got more legs coming out the top.
Yeah.
It's
Another really solid design.
legs and legs. Lady legs.
Legs for days.
Lady legs. And I got to tell you, you'd better start clocking the fact that these are lady. This is a lady thing.
It's gonna be because it's not ending here, people. This ain't over.
This ain't over, but I feel like if you were playing the game, you might have picked up on the metaphor that you're violently killing feminine things, monstrous-looking feminine things by now. But it's a book, and it's not a great book. So I'm just here to tell you the subtext.
Sometimes video games can do what books don't. At least these kinds of books.
Anyway,
Yeah.
He continues on, runs away from it. He wonders if everyone in the town has already escaped when he heads to the third floor. He continues exploring and enters room 301 to find a gun sitting in the middle of an abandoned shopping cart. He considers returning to the second floor with it, and on his way to the stairs, he notices a key on the floor beyond one of the metal gates that blocks parts of the third floor. As he reaches for it, a foot smashes down on his hand and kicks the key away. He sees a little girl running away, calling him an idiot. It's Laura. It's Laura from the first scene. Suddenly, there's a violent screech, and James starts running in the direction it comes from. At this point, I think there might be a misnumbering in the translation because it says he enters room 208 to get around the metal shutter, but we never said that he went back down to the second. Either way, he goes around to 208, sees a grandfather clock blocking a hole in the wall. We're just going to skip that puzzle because he just moves the grandfather clock.
Never mind. We want to get you. No.
There's no puzzles here.
We're not doing 200 pages on this fucker. I'm not.
There's no puzzles here. We're just skipping them. And I'm not skipping them, but the tag team of Sadamu Yamashita and Emily Fitch skipped them.
They totally
Emily had less of a choice in the matter, but
true.
You know what I'm saying.
But she could have been played the hero and put her own thumbprint on it. She could have played the
hero and put a little twist in there. Like he had to get the minute and second keys or whatever. I can't. That's the problem with the remake and the original. Is like I know the grandfather clock is a puzzle in the remake, but I can't remember if it's also a puzzle in the original.
Oh, yeah.
He reaches room 307 and finds one of the most famous scenes in Silent Hill 2. Pyramid Head is going to town on a couple of mannequin monsters. Now, in the original version of the game, this scene, and I know the creator of the game has since come out and said it wasn't intended to be like this, but it looks like Pyramid Head is doing a sexual assault on the mannequin monsters. In the original, in this scene, it's a very. Just look up the scene. You'll see what I mean. James hides in the closet, and once Pyramid Head is done doing the thing with the mannequins, starts approaching him in the closet, and James shoots at it with his gun, and somehow Pyramid Head just leaves. James leaves room 307. Okay. By the way, if you don't know what Pyramid Head looks like, I guess look him up, but he's a big beefy dude. Cake for days.
Yeah. Lots going on back there.
Lots going on back there, and he's wearing a giant rusted pyramid-shaped helmet that, like, it's massive.
And when Kevin says giant, think about what you're thinking about now, and just enhance. And to the point where it's kind of stupid, and then take it back one.
Yeah. You know, the main character from Blasphemous, it's like that in terms of height, and now make it also wider.
Yeah.
And more angular.
A helmet that makes you wonder how's that staying?
How is that staying on?
Yeah.
And why?
Right.
And who?
And who? I mean, I think the who is a big one throughout the game for a lot of these people, though.
Who is very important. Every time I take a sip of my Kirkland Signature Sparkling Water Lime, it throws the
color,
the white balance of my camera just completely off. And
that's so funny. Yeah, it's suddenly you're in like a no-tell motel, and it was like all I'm in red lighting and shit.
It's back.
There it is.
It's back. What if I have another sparkling water here? What if I bring this one up? What happens?
Well, it warmed up a little.
Yeah. What about this?
Not anything compared to the other one.
No. Okay. So this is great for the audio only listeners.
They love it. There it is again.
It's like there it is. They're like going up. I'm in Mexico.
Right. Denzel's about to kick some fucking ass.
Man on fire. That was set in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, what the fuck happens? James leaves room 307 and he finds the key that the girl kicked away. He goes back down to the first floor and goes into room 101. And he finds the body of a man badly beaten to death, and he hears the sounds of someone vomiting in the bathroom. James goes and talks to the guy, and the guy's like, I didn't kill him. I found him like that. The guy's name is Eddie. And James talks to Eddie about the monsters he's been seeing. And Eddie is like, I don't know what you're talking about. I did see a creature out there, and that's why I ran into the apartments. So, hey, ew. James wishes him luck and decides to try to get to the apartment complex that is adjacent to the Woodside ones by jumping through a second-story window. This is weird because it's not like an active thought you have in the game. You do it because it's like there's like, there's a weird apartment there's like a hole in the building next to it. So you jump across, and then when you get across there, it's like hell over there. It's like, what is wrong with this building? He does this and he kills a mannequin and goes to the first floor, of the other apartment building, and finds a woman that he met earlier, Angela, in room 109. They have a brief conversation. Angela is about as even-tempered as ever, and James tries to get the knife that she's holding from her. He also offers Angela to come with him, but she's not into the whole being around men thing.
I get it.
I get it.
She had a choice between a man, a bear, and Pyramid Head, and she went,
she's like, I'll take my chances with Pyramid Head.
Yeah, I'm going to have to really think this one out.
I was going to make the same joke about the man and the bear, and I'm glad you got there first.
This is why we have a show. This is why we have a show. This is our partnership, people. This is why it works.
But Angela leaves the knife with him so she doesn't hurt herself and carries on. Before he leaves, he finds a photograph of what looks like Angela and her family, with like the rest of her family like scratched out. Most of the rooms in this apartment building are locked until James enters a stairwell filled with ashen gray water. He goes to leave, but SpaghettiOs Pyramid Head is here. Boss fight time. James empties his magazine at Pyramid Head and then closes his eyes, thinking he's going to die via massive knife wound. But then Pyramid Head leaves him and goes down the steps into the water. And James falls to the ground exhausted, but then hears a kid singing through the fog. He exits the building to see the girl that stomped on his hand out in the street. He yells at her for it, and she feigns ignorance. I don't know what you're talking about. He asks her what she's doing there, why it looks like she has a letter in her hand, and she responds, "What's it to you? You never even liked Mary anyway." The girl climbs over a brick wall, leaving James shouting after her. And that's where we leave it for tonight.
It's a good place to stop.
Good place to stop. Phil, what do you think so far? And is this a satisfying book?
All right, let's just cut to the chase. No, it's not a bad. I will say, as far as translations are concerned, I don't know what Miss Fitch had to work with here, but as far as we can tell, it's a serviceable translation, and she did it out of the goodness of her heart. Obviously, this is not a professional thing, and to her credit, I don't think this is her fault. This is very much the kind of adaptation that we've read before that makes me wonder why do this? If this is the way you're going to adapt it, why do it?
Who's it for?
Who's this for? Exactly. It just hits the beats without any of the gravitas that goes behind everything that's happening. If you can make Pyramid Head kind of like, oh, then you fucked up. Like if that's almost impressive to be able to make someone that iconic and crazy, and you just go, oh, okay, so he's wearing, okay, got it, and that's it. So it's not bad in the traditional sense. It's just pointless.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think one of the things, were I tasked with writing an adaptation of Silent Hill 2, there is something that some things about it are heavy-handed, and some things are way too standoffish in terms of what the subject matter is. Because I think there's a theme of like violence against women that is in the subtext of the game Silent Hill 2 that you wouldn't necessarily notice here in this book. The other thing that I would say is that I feel like you should have chills reading about Pyramid Head. Like, yes, even though I know like the language has to be wielded carefully, like a scalpel in these scenes to really send the reader down a path of I don't like this one bit. And I mean, I imagine that Emily Fitch probably just translated what was there, and what was there was not a whole lot. No. It also,
I will also say this is clearly not a Google translation kind of situation. It's not localized or anything like that, but it someone actually did some work on this. So I'm with you. She didn't do anything wrong.
Right. It also cut out the first time you see Pyramid Head is not in that room. You see him through like the metal bars of one of the hallways, just kind of standing there staring at you. So I feel like that these moments of terror that James feels, you never really get the idea that there is an inner a full and fruitful inner monologue in James's head, other than like, well, I gotta go save Mary. Maybe I should run. But then I've already gone so far. Like, fucker, you haven't really gone that far.
You haven't. Not even you could turn around anytime you want at this point. And based on the fact that we're getting no real motivation behind it, maybe you should.
Yeah. Right. That you are willing to chalk up the letter to neighbors or coworkers also while you're walking into town.
Absolutely.
So, and obviously there's things about this that, we'll get to why none of that is actually doable, but I don't know. It's just a little meh.
Yeah,
it's just like if you wanted to just like live in the world of Silent Hill a little bit, you beat the game and now you're just like, I just want to experience it again, but I don't want to have to play the game again necessarily. Right. And I just want to snuggle in the blankets of Silent Hill 2 a little bit longer. Sure, I get it. But if you're looking for anything that adds anything to the story, so far, not getting it in this book.
No.
So
it's a shame.
It's a shame. It's a shame. But anyway. Phil.
Mm-hmm.
I have something to ask you.
Oh, please do.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, it's not coming. What are you playing?
Oh, well, aside from for anybody who is listening in on our early show banter knows, I'm still playing Rogue Trader, really clipping along now, getting some really cool stuff. Have killed no fewer than 2 of my companions, going full dogmatic, enjoying it, romancing both my navigator and my blood spinner, because it's honestly, you remember Tommy Lee Jones in Batman Forever, and he had Drew Barrymore on one side and Elvira's mom on the other side. It's basically that. I'm basically doing, I've got my nasty murderous gal on one side, and I've got my sweet albino girl on the other side, and they're both, and they're both for different occasions. You know what I mean? It's they're accessories is what it comes down to.
Right.
Chapter 2 is crazy. I actually looked it up to see if I was doing something wrong, and I found out that no, the second act is huge compared to the first and the third, and so it's like, okay, good, at least it's not just me. So I'm working my way through that still, really enjoying it, killing a lot of Drakari, joined the blood spinners basically, which fucking excellent. Really enjoying myself. Excuse me. Played a couple of demos. Big shocker. Played a demo for a game called I Am Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
Yes. And what basically they seem to be going for here. Now, years ago, when I was still working on my YouTube channel, I did a video about the history of Christian video games. And at the end of it, I suggested that some kind of a big open world video game where you play Jesus and you accumulate your powers and work your way up like that could be really, really cool and a lot of fun to actually play. And I would just publicly now on our show want to say I was wrong. It's just fucking terrible. It is a mess. This game is a mess. I admire what they're going for. First and foremost, it is fully sincere. I wasn't sure what we were dealing with in terms of are the makers of this game Christians, or is there a twist? Is there an ironic eye-rolly kind of aspect?
No, super sincere.
Super sincere. As you walk around different places, you will collect Bible verses like Assassin's Creed style shit. And it's funny that we talked about how Silent Hill 2, the book we're reading, just hit the basic beats, because that's exactly what's happening in this. When you first start playing, and I think the demo is actually just the alpha. I just ended up turning it off after a while.
Sure.
I don't think that it's just a piece of the game. I think it might be the whole game. And you start out, you have to go find John the Baptist. So you got to go talk to your mother Mary. You got to talk to John. You got to get baptized by him. And then after you get baptized, it's like, okay, time to go to the wedding at Cana. So you go to fucking Cana and turn the water into wine. And then, okay, time to go and collect your disciples. And it's like there's no...
it's time for egg delivery.
Yes, and it's constant. And I would love to say, because I was trying to find another way to say this, because I was about to say there's no downtime, but that's actually the opposite. There's nothing but downtime, because for a lot of it, you're just walking through nothing. You're doing. First and foremost, I think you get about 10 FPS on this thing. It's harsh. It feels like these people played open world games from the mid 2000s that people complained about, where it's like, oh yeah, the world's huge, but there's nothing to do.
Sure.
They played a bunch of those games and they learned nothing.
Nothing at all.
It's
nothing at all.
It's so funny.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. I wanted very much, and sincerely, I wanted very much to enjoy this. I saw it. I saw how the people who are making this clearly give a shit. They are imitating all of the kind of Skinner box style things you see in video games, the percentage of a city that you've completed, stuff like that. Stuff that me personally, and I know that it's just tapping into the food pellet part of my brain, but I don't care. I enjoy that.
You like the food pellets. Who doesn't
like
a
the food pellet? Exactly. And I feel like I've accomplished something when I get one. It's just, it doesn't work. It literally doesn't work at times, and it's just dull as dishwater. And I almost forgot, between you can get you accumulate miracles that you can cast. One of the early ones is transformation. So you transform the water into wine, that kind of thing. One of them is exorcism. And I was like, okay, that should just be the whole game.
Sure.
That should just Jesus Christ's exorcist. Jesus Christ, exorcist. Exactly. I would play the shit out of that game. Cut to the chase. Give us what we want. I wanted to open with Willem Dafoe in Last Temptation of Christ saying, I used to believe in this, holding up his heart and going, now I believe in this, and just going out and just punching Satan in the face. Great, fine.
Do it.
But instead, it's just this very milquetoast, dull, drawn out kind of experience where you have to go to this person, then you go to that person. And I wondered if there was a failure state. I was like, could you have a failure state if you're playing how does that work? My bread is done.
Fantastic. What kind of bread?
That's just, I make a loaf of sandwich bread every for the week out of our bread
for your week of sandwiches.
Yeah, for a week of sandwiches. It's great. We haven't purchased bread in years at this point. It's worth it. It takes a little extra time.
I agree. I think homemade bread is made with love. And
even machine made stuff, it's better.
Wonder Bread is made with wood.
Yes, it is. But what I was getting at is between getting the miracles, you have to solve a puzzle in heaven, it seems to be, because you're definitely in the clouds and there are definitely pearly gates. The puzzle has nothing to do with what's going on. It falls back on a thing that you see with a lot of Christian video games, where it's just basically trivia. So you end up at this series of rings, 7 rings in concentric circles, and each one of them is for days 1 through 7. And you have to pick the right thing that God did on that day. Which all right, fine, but it has
Sure.
nothing to do with what I was doing in the moment. It doesn't tie in any way. And it just my wife literally sat down with me with her Bible, and it was like, okay, all right, what is it? Which ones are these? And it's so frustrating. It's such old school. And I don't say that fondly, game design, where you have to literally click on the rings and turn them. And I ended up clicking the wrong one so many times because, again, 10 FPS at best.
Sure.
It's such a mess. I sincerely wanted to like this. I'm not a Christian. I'm not that guy. But I know good material to work with when I see it.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if Cory Barlog can make God of War, can take God of War into the Norse mythology, then we can have a Jeebus game where he's just Jeebusing all over the town, you know?
There is no reason not to. None whatsoever. People will buy that.
And he is and it's just Jesus Christ Exorcist. And
I just want that game. I want that game.
And maybe the whole thing could be like after it's like a whole story that like this you won't find this in your daddy's gospel. And then it's like after he resurrected Lazarus, like like something else came back with Lazarus, and now there's all these exorcisms that he has to perform because Lazarus was dead, and Lazarus was dead, and now that Lazarus came back to life, like everything came back with him, and now like he raised Lazarus from the dead, but Lazarus wasn't the only thing that came back.
Lazarus is the only one who rose from the dead. Or Jesus, for that matter. Anyway, Jesus Christ Exorcist.
Jesus Christ Exorcist.
That game would fucking rule.
Switch 2.
I love it. That's a free one, Nintendo. Make it happen. On a much brighter note, I also played the demo for a game called Fretless: The Wrath of Rifson.
Okay.
This is a old school turn-based RPG game. It's got 8-bit to 16-bit vibes. It's a very Scott Pilgrim-y kind of thing. You are in a world where music is like everything, and you're a guy with an acoustic guitar who wants to take part in this battle of the bands. It's a literal battle, though. So like in Scott Pilgrim.
Sure,
Yeah, music is the weapon, and it's a rhythm game.
Sure.
And it's very basic rhythm stuff, but it's very Hi-Fi Rush. Honestly, it was a cross between Hi-Fi Rush and like Secret of Mana.
Okay.
It had those vibes. The music is really nice. The vibe is incredibly good. It has this kind of like homey autumn kind of vibe to it. The indie rock is just right. It kind of struck a few of the chords that Keep Driving did for me.
Okay.
Where it's hitting me in kind of in the old school feel goods, and it brings out the guitar nerd in me. Like I used to play guitar. I never got to be heavy into that because that's kind of playing the guitar is kind of like Warhammer. You got people who do it occasionally sometimes, but it's such an expensive hobby that not as frequently. And then you got the people who are obsessed. So
the pedals and
exactly and that's the thing. You're defeating like mushroom monsters and rival musicians and stuff like that, and they drop things like fret oil and new pickups, and near the end of the demo, this scientist that I know makes me a bass. So now instead of my acoustic guitar, I'm slapping the bass, and it has a whole other
slapping the bass, man.
I'm slapping the bass, and it's got a whole other mechanic to it, and it was perfect timing because at that point it was starting to feel a little samey, because it was the same like 3 or 4 villains. The rhythms are nice and satisfying, but it's pretty standard bump, 4/4 kind of tempo, and there's nothing too complicated about it. And then boom, I got a new weapon / instrument, and I can play with that, and you can customize them and each get different riffs for them. The riffs are different
Right.
attacks, or there's a little Slay the Spire in there in terms of the
Nice.
gameplay. It's totally worth playing the demo. And I could see when you go over to the Steam store, it's overwhelmingly positive over there, which good for them. This is a very cool indie game project. Let's see if I don't know if they did. No, this is it. This is the only thing. It's Ritual Studios. This is their first game, and I'm really impressed with it. It's a lot of fun. It's very self-aware, and the rhythm stuff in it is a lot of fun. It's just a really solid music-centric kind of game that I think a lot of people get something out of.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's Fretless. And Kevin, what are you playing?
Oh, okay. So what I have been playing. First, I beat Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
Nice.
I don't know if I mentioned I beat it last week.
I don't think you did. You
No,
mentioned
okay,
the game, but
yeah, I beat it. It is. It only takes like 6 hours to beat it all the way through once. And then once you get to the end of it, it's like, oh, okay, well, new game plus hard mode.
got it.
And that changes the levels a bit. Like as you go through, the levels are harder. The bosses are harder and all that stuff. So you can go through and go try it again. And with a higher difficulty. It's like not an easy game to begin with. It's made easier by the fact that it's unlike old school Ninja Gaiden NES days. It has there's no limit on lives,
Oh, thank God.
So you're just and I died so many times over the course of beating it once. It was like in the 200s. So it was like a number of deaths. So it's good. It's on my game of the year list. It's a fun little game. There's actually like there's two endings to the game. So I might just get the other one just for the sake of having it. But yeah, it's a fun game. I totally recommend it. What else? I have been playing. I just started playing the second Bloodstained Curse game. So it's not the full one, the full Bloodstained, which is like Symphony of the Night. This is Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2, which is made by Inti Creates. They did a version that is, well, technically the full version is also made by Inti Creates. But yes, they made the 8-bit Castlevania style game. There was the original Bloodstained.
I wasn't
Curse
even
of the Moon.
aware that this game exists. I really enjoyed Bloodstained. I didn't know this was a thing.
Bloodstained. You're talking about the 32, like the old PlayStation style one, right? The one that looks like Symphony of the Night. Yeah.
Exactly.
So before Bloodstained released, they made a game called Curse of the Moon, which is just like a retro Castlevania style with like characters from Bloodstained in it.
Nice.
And they made it as like a bonus because of their Kickstarter when they first got started. So yeah, they've been doing, Inti Creates has been doing a lot of neat stuff over the years.
Awesome.
Yeah. Top sellers. What is their? They do the Gunvolt, Gal Guardians. Yeah.
They've got a style, don't they?
They do have a style. Yeah. And the what's the Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. That's what I'm thinking of. It's
one of those rare Metroidvanias that I fucking devoured. I really enjoyed that. Yeah,
it's a good one. There is probably another. I think there's a sequel to that one. The big boy version coming out at some point. Ritual of the Night. There's a bunch of DLCs for it too that I never got around to playing. Anyway, yes. So played that. What else have I been playing? A little game called Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader.
Oh, tell me more.
Whoa.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I'm continuing on my. I have a problem with being an iconoclast, in that my problem is that I'm, no matter what I say when I start a new run, I'm like, I'm gonna do dogmatic or heretic. I'm not gonna be a nice guy anymore. And then, god damn it, I just
It's
can't.
so hard. Yeah.
It's so hard. So like iconoclast in Rogue Trader is basically nice guy mode. Like everything, all the options for iconoclast are
Reasonable
like,
guy.
let's save some people. Let's.
It's true.
It's that comic of like, we should improve society somewhat, and then the dogmatic guy popping out of
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. It's just, it's not even like that. Iconoclast is like a kick-ass person. They're just reasonable, you know. They're just like, maybe we shouldn't kill everyone,
right? Whereas heretic is like, let's kill everybody, but in parentheses, it's like for the chaos gods, and dogmatic is let's kill everybody, in parentheses, for the god emperor.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I'm playing full dog. I say I'm playing full dogmatic, but I still have got like at least a full level in iconoclast, because sometimes you just can't keep going that way. You gotta give yourself a little.
Sometimes
break.
you gotta give somebody a pep talk instead of telling them that they're an embarrassment to the god emperor when they're sad. You know,
if I gotta kill one more person without thinking about it, I'm gonna snap, and therefore I'm going to give this person a pep talk. Yeah,
dogmatic, kill them. Heretical, kill them, but smile about it.
Right? Yeah, it's the Republican and Democratic Party.
Yes, the Republican and Democratic Party. Dogmatic and heretical are Republicans and Democrats.
Kill them. Kill them, but smile about it.
Which one are they? You decide.
Yeah. Kind of works either which way.
But I'm working my way through Act 2, working my way downtown, working my way through Act 2, and I think I'm nearly at the end of Act 2. I just got got my fourth planet back online, because like it's like in Act 2, it's like you gotta get these three planets back online, and then it's like, all right, now get this. There's a fourth one you have to go find. So I think I'm getting pretty close to having that all settled. There's a bunch of Act 2 like side quests though that I want to finish before I get into Act 3. Knowing what happens in Act 3, it's a good thing that you.
It's a good thing to do those first.
It's a good thing to do as many side quests as possible before you get to Act 3. I think some of them you might be able to come around and do again in Act 4, but. Clear the decks as much as possible.
Good to know. Good to know.
Because
that's what I'm doing just out of pure habit. So I'm glad to know that's going to be helpful in the long run.
Yeah. And also make sure Argenta's in your party at the end of Act 2.
Okay. Good to know. She's usually part of my usual.
Just have her with you.
Okay. Good to know. Argenta.
Not trying to spoil anything. Just it's like there's certain things that you don't that are elucidated upon in Act 3 if you have certain characters in your party. It's wild. You can totally miss them otherwise.
Okay.
So so Rogue Trader almost through Act 2, and then Act 2 is one of the longest stretches of the game.
Oh my god.
Act 3 is a lot more self-contained, but very different. And then Act 4 is like back to Act 2 shenanigans of like you're doing stuff again all over the galaxy. But finishing up Rogue Trader, Act 2, and what else? I think that's it. That's all. That's all I've been. That's it for me playing things.
Nice.
Yeah. So thank you so much for listening. If you want, you can follow us on Blue Sky and on Instagram and on TikTok. It's all Pixelit Pod over there. starting to post more on TikTok in terms of like, I'm just like recording myself talking about books that we've had. If you want to ask us a question on our TikTok, go ahead, throw us a comment on one of our videos and I'll get around to it and be like, hey, I'll answer that question. I'll answer that question 9 times.
I'll take that one.
But yeah, no, thanks so much for listening. So Phil, I don't know if you can see him behind me, but Homestar Runner has been standing in my closet for a while. How do I get rid of a Homestar Runner that is decided to take up residence in my closet?
Oh boy, let me tell you, with the Homestar Runners, it's all about trauma. The last time I had a Homestar Runner stuck in my closet, I ended up just sitting outside with my wife, and after I explained to her over and over again, this is a put on, this is an act. I got into a vicious argument with her about